Guys, my name is Jameer Pond, and I welcome you to the first inaugural, if that's I said it right, Donovan? The inaugural episode of Dropping Gems Live. Give it up for that. First. One of one. Yes. Okay, so I got a lot of things to get through before we actually have the live podcast that you guys have came and waited online, and I know it was chilly, and you could have been anywhere, but you guys are at Kinfolk. Shout out to Kinfolk, by the way, for providing the space. Give it up for Kinfolk. Okay, so if you guys were fortunate enough to be here early, right before we gave away these little bags, you got to shout out to Keels, because Keels made this possible. Thank you for sponsoring, Keels. Keels, I love you, Keels. I'd fight my mother for Keels at this point in time. Thank you, Keels. Driven Society, who helped make this whole thing possible and partner with me and will partner with me in future live events, so give it up for Driven Society. So I wanted to do this just because I don't know how many, I know a lot of creatives here, but I don't know how many creatives in here, but I got tired of being told no. I got tired of people prejudging who I was as a personality, as a human. Got a lot of failure, a lot of doors shut in my face. And I thought it was, time for a change. And often as creatives, we get frustrated. The inevitable. We get frustrated, shit gets crazy. So many people like, yo, you should just leave. You should just quit. You stop being complacent. And I had to really evaluate. And I said, what am I doing? What's my purpose? Why do I want to do this? What's this whole thing look like? And this is how this whole thing manifested. Dropping Gems started from something that I would do in a back studio at my job in between work when I wasn't doing anything. And I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take this so more people can be interactive. I wanted to make this so people can reach out to people who they look up to and see and want inspiration from. So Dropping Gems is no longer just this, but it's manifesting into something bigger. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here. Each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all. Seriously. I want to introduce 3 dynamic women who, in my eyes, are changing the scope of how we look at this whole entertainment and digital space. I'll first introduce one woman who gave me a shot. I had a phone conference with her, and I wanted to be on her show because I thought her show was amazing, and it created black and brown conversations that we don't hear from black and brown people who are intelligent and break stereotypes. I want to introduce content creator and the creator and producer of The Grapevine, Miss Ashley Akunna. Yes, Ash! And she got a power blue suit on. Power! Yes! You better go on to Fashionista and get this, Fashionista. That's right. Ashley.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Hey.
Ashley. See, there you go. You ready? Yeah. Power blue. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay. So my next guest is a personal friend of mine. Just seeing her glow up and being in the presence of her amazing stride and seeing the struggle, seeing the triumphs and the tribulations, I can't say I'm any less shocked about where she is now, and so proud of where she's going. You see her everywhere, and you might actually hear her on Black Girl Podcast, and I know we got some members of Black Girl Podcast in the building, so I want y'all to give it up right now for Miss Scottie Beam. Limp over here, girl, limpy. Limpy, limpy, limpy. Limpy, limpy, limpy. Come on, Limpisha. I know, come here. Come here. I'm going to help you. Limp. What? Okay, give me the good leg first. Thank you. I said the good leg. That wasn't the good leg. Yeah, she made it.
Hi, everybody. Oh, hi. You better scream. Use some good vocals. Hello. All right.
Oh, I love you guys. All right. So our last guest of the podcast is somebody I really admire as an entertainment journalist. She's not only just that, but she, has wrote for Forbes and been featured on Complex and Revolt. And she takes very A1 vacation pictures on Instagram if you follow her. I want y'all to give it up for Miss Sidnee Michelle. Sashay, 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 sashay. Go ahead. Go get it, girl. Go get it. Bow. There you go. Right. There you go. Oh, I think you oh, okay, you just posing. All right, do your thing. Do your thing.
Hey,
all
guys.
Right. Hey, let me sit up on here. Okay. All right, so again, thank you ladies for being here. You guys are three women who I admire and of course Driven Society admires. And we personally picked you guys out. You guys are the first of three. I'm telling you, nobody else was mentioned. So 3 of 3, you guys are first options because we wanted to talk to you guys about digital space and digital branding, but also get to some of the root of who you guys are, because often we don't humanize the people that we see on TV or our digital spaces. So I want to talk with you guys a little bit. First question, kind of a deep one. Take time to think if you have. I want to know, at this point in you guys' lives, what do you feel like your individual purposes are? That's right, that's a curveball, right there, right there. Learned that from Barbara Walters, Alicia. Get him right off track. First question.
I'll start.
You'll start, okay.
I definitely feel like, since I was a child, I've been in love with storytelling. I was always the one super excited to read books and to talk about the movie after it was over and write my own story. So I definitely feel like my path is gonna lead into filmmaking and writing and directing. But my ultimate purpose, I do think, is to go back to Nigeria, where I'm from, and to build schools and to really help my family just come out of poverty. So I definitely want to run for some type of office when I get to Nigeria, just because corruption is really, really big. So that's my ultimate goal, when I'm in my 50s, 60s.
I would have to say right now, I feel like my purpose is to help guide myself and guide other Black women to learn what self-care is and build a safe place. Eventually, hopefully when I'm 40 or whatever it is, I have a set residential area for just Black women where they can learn how to take care of themselves, but mentally inside, as far as therapy is concerned. Now that I'm going to therapy probably every other week, and I'm learning more about how, we neglect ourselves to the fullest. So I want to make sure these young girls and girls my age too will learn how to deal with trauma. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be able to do that. I think that's my purpose now. And I think also my purpose is to show these brands that women of darker complexions and who aren't, model sizes can do things with brands. I think I just want to be that person that can lead and help myself, because I ain't together all the way, but help other women do the same. Yeah.
I think my end goal would to be just to really create opportunities for women of color. That kind of was my thing since I started journalism and writing. When I was in high school, I went to a Catholic high school and we were 25% Black, and we didn't really have an outlet for us to for our creatives, for music, photography, fashion, whatever one is. So I created that, the first magazine in my high school, and white Catholic high school, y'all. That was a big thing. So, and then again, when I had the opportunity to do that at Forbes, just being the first Black woman there and be able to hire interns, just kind of diversify, the faces that I see wherever I'm at. That's kind of what I want to do. And my end goal would probably be to really launch my own media company and really create dope opportunities for everyone who needs them. So.
Right. I want to ask you guys, because you guys are Black and brown women, do you feel like you guys have arrived? And I'm talking specifically when we talk about media, entertainment, and the digital space. Are Black women arriving?
We've been arrived. People are just starting to notice. That's the only difference. The only difference is people are starting to think it's cool now. So now that it's cool to be a black person, now we've arrived. We've always been putting our fucking work in. Excuse it.
Everybody's over
But my
the
mom
age.
ain't here today.
There you go.
So, yeah, we've always been putting our work in. I think people have been working on their projects, their journey for years until people started working. Actually, Ashley was just talking about that before, how she's been doing this, and now people are just starting to realize.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we've been arrived. That's it.
Talking to a lot of producers in like television, like they want us. They're so interested in our content, they're interested in our storytelling, and more than ever, they're really kind of like delving deep to figure out like who the next Issa Rae is, which is cool. But personally, I feel like, I just turned 30 last week, y'all.
God bless you. Hey.
And
Hey, yo.
when I was like 22, 23, I thought at 30 I would be accepting my Oscar, doing all these things. But so I definitely don't feel like I have arrived yet, and I'm definitely someone who like, I get things and I get like, recognition, but I'm still kind of like, okay, that was cute.
Right.
So I don't necessarily feel like I have arrived, but I definitely feel like if you are a content creator, if you're a filmmaker, if you're a storyteller, now is definitely the time to like, don't stop yourself and put your stuff out there, because there's like a magnifying glass on us right now.
Yeah.
I pretty much agree with both of these ladies. I just think we've always been there. Like, we've always been out the door. I may be biased, y'all, but I always think that black and brown people are the most talented and creative people on the earth. So I just, we've always been there. We've always had the talent. We've always had the knowledge. But like you said, it's just now that they're noticing us. They're just now taking note of really what we can do and how we can, like, blow shit out the water. Mm-hmm. So we're here. We've always been here, like Scottie said, and now we're, like, kicking the door in a little bit. So
living through your passion, though, and living as somebody who lives through their heart, Scottie, has there been kickback because of how proud and how black and how, unapologetic you can be? And how have you guys able to navigate that around the digital spaces?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Because you are...
I'm a passionate person. I put my soul into things if I'm really about it. If I'm really about it, I put my soul into things, people. Jameer is one of them. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends, but also one of the most talented individuals I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
Period. No joke. Because I've seen a lot of corniness. He is the it thing. He has the it factor.
I'm gonna cry. I'm crying. You see.
So, no. As somebody who's been super passionate and super open, I've been, vulnerable and, well, not really vulnerable. Let me take that.
Not that
vulnerable.
Not that adjective.
But I've been open, basically. An open book. If anybody had any questions about anything, I'm 100% for it. I'm a genuine person, which makes it very hard for me to walk through these music industries, because I don't like all the fakeness sometimes. I get it. It's part of the game. I gotta do it. I gotta smile when I don't want to. I gotta, go to dinner with people I normally would never go to dinner with. Not like date. I'm talking about dinners, meetings, and dinner lunches. Please, no sexual. But stuff like that, where I'm like, I don't want to sit with y'all, and I don't want to do these pick my brains, and I don't want to do like these things. I've just been always passionate. I don't know. I've been told to stop. Plenty of people have told me that I have to calm it down. Many of people have told me I'm just way too proud, especially to be black. I mentioned black women a lot when I was doing stuff on the radio, and it was a problem. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care.
Go ahead, you can say it.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't care.
You can say it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm proud to be in this skin. I've been in this skin for 27 years. I like my hair. I like this hair just how it is. I love everybody's hair. If you don't appreciate mine, I got it. Cool. Fuck you. But I don't need to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to So my passion has always been the forerunner. It has always led me here. It's the reason why I'm here. How I am led me why I'm here. Like, there's no way I could have just kept held back on things. My passion made me quit my job. You know what I'm saying? My heart, legit, I didn't know I was going to quit that day. Like, I wanted to, but I was like, I'm gonna sit with it a little bit. Watching Nina Simone, legit.
Facts.
Got up and I told my mom.
You text me.
Yep.
He was like, I'm gonna quit today.
I said, I'm gonna quit.
I said, you sure?
Yep.
So I'm quitting.
And I told my mom, she said, good, please go, leave the place. And I left. That was it. I had things in the work, but I didn't have nothing. Although I would never ask anybody to do that. That's how passionate I am, though. That's legit how careless I am about other things, but more about my peace and more about my happiness and more about my heart and what I believe I can do. I just felt like I hit the ceiling and I couldn't do it anymore. I was legit sick being there, like throw up sick, hated it, wanted to cry going into work, hated it, hate. So I had to do it. I had to leave.
She didn't like it. Did not like it.
So it took a toll on my mental. And I just had to go. So yeah, I'm queen of following your heart. Queen. I believe it. Although it takes you have to use your mental at times, try to figure out where the hell you're going and all that stuff. But I saved up and I was like, I'm out. Whatever I do, I do. I know I can trust myself with knowing that I can, girl, if I gotta work at the Walgreens, I'll work at the Walgreens. But I couldn't be there anymore. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it.
I don't know if some of you guys have experienced it. Just being, the only black face in a white work environment is pretty hard. So it's, exactly, girl. So that just having to, at first, when I first got in that type of space, I kind of wanted to like pull back myself and just pull back, even the type of content that I was doing. But then I'm like, no, like, who cares if I'm the only black girl here at an all-white company damn near. I'm gonna rep for us no matter what. So, I started doing pieces that were close to my heart, and as much backlash and bullshit like she was talking about that I got pushback from it, it was just made me work that much harder, There's like episodes, like let's say, I remember the Blackish episode that I wanted to run when they talk about protesting and all that stuff. They do, TV reviews of articles of TV reviews every day for every different type of show. They've done it for Blackish in the past. So when I wanted to, review that specific article on a Forbes audience, they're just like, no, this is too radical. Like, just gave me so much pushback. And I just know for us, I had to push that much harder. And it ended up getting published. And it ended up being, I think, the most viewed article for that sector of Forbes for the week. So just stuff like that is really like, I've always admired Scottie because she's just very open with it. And there's been times where, even at certain networks, they've told me I had to take like my braids out, my box braids. Yes. And I'm just like, for what? And that's partially the reason why I'm freelancing and working for myself today, because I don't want to deal with that anymore. But trust me, like getting to that point, it's definitely a struggle. But you just always got to remember who you are in the back of your mind and remember what you stand for.
Coming from a background of television and film and being in those boardrooms where I was kind of like a fly on the wall and seeing like people say things like, we need a racially ambiguous person to play this, and we don't want it to be too, black. I knew that creating a show like this and having like this raw energy would be controversial. And, I've been offered some checks, y'all, some checks that could really help me and help the show, but it would water it down. And for me, like, I'm an Aries. I can't do something. I can't do something if my heart isn't in it. Like, literally, I can't do it. So my show has to stay the way that it is. So the reality is it is a risk. It's a risk if you stay true to yourself and you're a black person, you're unapologetically black. To be honest, I don't know how long I would be unapologetically black for, because these bills are real. But
a little bit of white.
But what I will say is what I will say is that because I've stayed real this long, we've attracted, because the grapevine isn't just me, we've attracted an authentic audience. We've attracted a family. Like, people don't know, like Jameer, Donovan, Amanda, like we hang out, we talk all the
Facts.
time. Like it's really like a
Love you,
family, and
Amanda.
I'm so happy because, like Scottie said, the industry can be really weird, and it's hard to meet authentic people. So I found staying true to myself, staying true to my passion has helped me and healed me. So yeah.
Sometimes with taking risk and staying true to yourselves, you find disappointment, you find roadblocks, you find failures sometimes, which is inevitable. But we all fail. I'm sure everybody out here has experienced some failure of some type in their own field. So as far as fields, like your career, what are some of the greatest failures that you've had to overcome thus far?
I would say when I first graduated film school, I went to Cannes, the film festival, and I met this producer and based in New York, got back to New York, and I became her intern. And my first job with her was being a production assistant for this film called Gaby. And everybody around me were like, all the other interns were like white, you could tell they had some money, you can tell that they've been doing this for a while, and they were like younger than me. And I wasn't used to like working on an indie film. Like literally you work from 8 a.m. to like 12 a.m. And then you need to be back on set at like 6 a.m. And it was so draining for me that like one day I called out. I was just like, I'm really sick, I'm in the hospital. I can't.
On the verge.
I can't do this. Like, and the reality was I was in Jersey in bed just trying to catch up on sleep. Later that day, they fired me.
Sheesh.
They fired me. And I remember calling my mentor at the time, Nick Yatujusu, who's also a filmmaker, and I was like, is this the end of my career? Is anybody ever gonna hire me again? Like, I just felt so defeated. And she just said to me, she's like, you know what, Ashley, like, this is not the end. These women, these people that you work for are very privileged. They don't understand that, you live 2 hours away, that you're gonna have to go home, that you need some sleep, that you need some rest. And this is not the end. I really thought it was the end of my career, but I ended up working for Bradford Young like a week later, the DP. And that week where I was unemployed, I really learned that like, you have to pick yourself up, like even when you're at your lowest.
I have one that hurt my heart and hurt it bad. So I had auditioned to be a correspondent for Genius. Did great, amazing, excited. They were like, yeah, so we're gonna get the papers together, hyping my head up. I mean, I was like, I'm out of this bitch, like, bye. Like, I'm out of here. A well-esteemed person who looks out for her race called the higher up of Genius and said that she wouldn't be a good look for Genius. And they were like, got you, cool. They picked a nice woman.
Okay.
Who,
That's a way.
Okay.
That's a way to phrase.
Nice woman. I thought she's talented. Yes, absolutely. But that woman barely knew me. That woman met me once, twice. She saw me around the hallways of Hot 97. She's done that. And she claims she's part of this woman empowerment, but she's not. She's for her people, which, given, I'm for mine too. But here's the thing. I would never, ever, ever shit on somebody else to get my people up, because I know my people can do it on their own. Yeah, that's what I think that was it. That was like the biggest, that was hard. That was hard.
I think my biggest one would be when I parted ways with Complex. That was real big for me. We couldn't come to an agreement on my contract, and there was, boys club issues and just really just a lot of stuff that we couldn't see eye to eye on. So I had to ended up leaving. And Lean, I don't know, my girlfriend is back. She remembers when I quit, I just basically, it was a rough time.
Rough time, baby.
It was a rough time. And, you know, I probably cried for a good week, and I'm just like, I'm about to quit everything. Because, mind you, I left Forbes for Complex. I quit my job at Forbes for Complex, and then, you know, 7 months down the road, now I don't have nothing. So I'm like, oh, damn, what am I about to do? I don't have anything. Cried for about a week, worried for about 2 weeks, and then I dipped and went to an island because I had to get my mind right. When I came back, literally as I'm landing in Miami, I get an email from another great outlet asking me if I want to interview Ava DuVernay and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So my story with that is just like, don't ever count yourself out, because I counted myself out. I said, I'm done. I said, I'm done with all the bullshit. I'm done with the runaround. I'm done with all that. I'm 26. I've been doing this since I was like 18 or 19. I started interning at The Source when I was 18. And I'm just like, here I am yet again with no company under my belt.
Yeah.
And then, you know, 2 weeks later, you know, I get 2 of the biggest interviews of my career. So don't ever count yourself out, y'all. Shit may seem real dark and real low, but don't ever count yourself out.
We get skewed because sometimes we live between our world and the world of our phone, right? We create these moments for people to enjoy on social media, through YouTube, through, you know, TV. But sometimes through all that validation, you know, that self-worth, we don't feel that void, you know. No matter how many people tell you you're popping, we don't feel whole, like Scottie said. So is there a balance that you guys have from being accepted on social media to kind of turning it off and living your regular lives? How's that balance been?
Well, I the reason why I'm so myself on social is because I could be myself off social. So when people see me, I'm keeping that same energy everywhere.
Right.
Whether the phone is down, up, to the side, whatever it is, I'm gonna be the same person, period. Now, do I have to detach? Yeah, there's moments of detachment because I can legit be with my family. And I don't see my family a lot. My little brother's in college. My mom is living, you know, she lives in New Jersey. I live somewhere else. My sisters moved out. Like, we're spread it everywhere. So when we have moments to sit with each other and talk, I'm still on my phone like, I gotta post this. Oh, wait 1 second. I gotta post this. But then moments where my mom's like, nope, give me a phone. And I'm like, but I paid a bill now, so y'all can't. But I give it to her because I don't know how to really turn the phone off. Or I have FOMO, where I feel like I'm missing something on Instagram, or I'm missing something on Twitter, or if somebody hits me, I'm like, yo, you seen that Bruno Mars thing that happened on Twitter? Yo, you gotta talk about this.
Jesus.
I drop what I do, and I go on Twitter, and I talk about it. So I have to learn boundaries. I still haven't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in the moment where I have a relationship, so I don't need to really sit down with nobody and have to put my phone down. I could peacefully have my phone in my hand and eat. So I don't know how to detach yet.
I'm not good at it either. Like, for example, I just took a group of influencers out to an island off the coast of the Bahamas over the weekend.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. No.
Subtle stunt, by the way. Let's take a group of influencers out to an island.
Listen.
We had fun. We rode dune buggies. It was nothing. Don't subtle stunt like that.
No. I'm just saying it because I was just talking to Scottie about it. From the outside in, everybody's like, oh my God, like, this trip was so amazing, blah, blah. That was the most stressful trip of my life, y'all. The most stressful trip. But again, it's because you have to document everything. Like, when you do things like that, you have sponsors, you have people who are looking for your story, like, you have all that type of stuff. So you have to constantly create content. And that shit can be annoying. It could be troublesome. It could be stressful, especially when you're on an island that's so damn beautiful. All you want to do is sit there and drink a pina colada and, like, chill. So it's just, like, constantly having to create content. But, you know, one of the things I did was, you know, on the last day when all the influencers are gone and out of my hair, I just sat down, I put my phone down, I just went out to the beach by myself and just, like, sat. I read a book, I relaxed, I listened to music. And although, like, 45 minutes before my flight, that kind of just helped me bring it home. Like, at least I can have a piece of this for me. You know, it's just really about like keeping a piece for yourself.
I hate social media.
Me too. Hate it.
It's definitely hindered me, the fact that I hate social media so much, because I'm definitely someone who loves to live in the moment.
Yeah.
Some of my best moments are not documented. Sneaking into Kanye West parties, dancing on rooftops, dancing on the beach. Like, my best moments are not documented, which kind of suck in a way, because I can't show my children. So
That's some real shit. I did not expect that.
So I don't have that problem, but and thankfully it's because I have like a platform, so I can really just focus on the show, focus on the other personalities on the show. But definitely with Bruno Mars, with that whole situation, a lot of people were like, you know, now is your time. You really have to brand yourself, and you really have to do this, and you have to do that. And I'm just like, I don't want to. It's not really my thing. And again, like, I'm a filmmaker, so I like to be behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So, you know, people want to say I'm a brand, I guess, but, you know, the show is really what the brand is, and that's what I try to focus on. That's what you'll see on my social media. People don't really know a lot about me, and that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I like my privacy, so yeah, that's about it.
As far as relationships, I'm talking about intimate relationships, you know. Whatever kind of relationships you're into, whether it's, you know, boyfriend or just sexual relationships and things like that, how are you able to... You good? How are y'all able to manage that while you're still representing brands and, again, like having that medium to cut off things and to put the phone down, and, you know, has it been hard? And your eyes are the most. It's just your eyes, they're piercing. But how are you able to have that medium in your personal life with personal relationships?
I realized early on that was very hard for me. I think my freshman year of college, I met a guy who I thought would be my husband, the love of my life. And I spent the whole year not doing any work and just focused on that. And like at the end of the relationship, I promised myself like I would never do that again. I would never like put my work on the back burner. And even through heartbreak, even through tears, even through breaking windows, which I've done. Yes, I've done it.
No, don't nobody. Oh, yes. Don't nobody.
Yes.
That's against the law.
Sometimes windows need to be broken.
That's against the law. That's a fact.
I've always been able to put my career first. I just turned 30 last week, like I said earlier, and, you know, being from a Nigerian family, there is kind of like a pressure of like, you know, when are you going to get married, all of those things. And, you know, I just realized like I trust the timing of my life. And I think now, at 30, I know that I need a man who has his own passion as well. And I have my own passion, and, you know, we do our own thing, and then we get together, and we respect each other. There's no competition. So right now, I don't have that issue of balance of having a significant other. But I do know that when I do have a significant other, we'll be able to do our own thing, come together, and make it beautiful.
Are we all single, ladies? All right, so there's y'all answer. Like, but
Look at all the dudes like, oh, really? All right.
No, it's funny because like my girlfriends tell me they can always tell when I'm single, but, you know, we have little flings in here and there. But my girlfriends always tell me it's kind of funny because when they can always tell when I'm going through something with a guy, because what I post on like my Instagram story. So it'll be the quotes like, you know, treat a woman well and she'll feed you forever or whatever. It's just like stuff like that. I gotta like pull back a little bit just because, you know, it's hard. It's like, yeah, I want you to see this, but I don't want you to see this. So it's just kind of like, just be private about your private stuff. Like certain things you could be private about, certain things not. I'm single, so I really don't have a lot of those issues right now, but, you know, we all go through stuff with women and men, and we all have relationships, and relationships are hard. Like in your middle to late 20s, relationships are hard as hell. So it's just kind of like keeping that off social media, because all social media does is just make it worse, honestly. Like y'all can see with everybody that goes, you know, everything that's happening in the media, like Fetty Wap's baby mama put this on Instagram and, you know, all this stuff. Fab and Emily. Like, I feel like social media just takes such a toll on relationships in today's day and age. Like, our parents didn't have that. Even our older brothers and sisters didn't have that. And I feel like that might be why, you know, we're not
successful
in love and relationships. But there are, like, I have friends who are getting married in 2 months, and they're so much in love. So, you know, just try and keep your private and not be emotional on, you know, with your posts.
So is it a sacrifice, you think?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm just asking. I don't
know.
Sacrifice. Okay, so similar to Ashley's, I was in love. Couldn't tell me that I was gonna marry this man. I love him to death. Still do. This is
That's my
Jameer's
guy.
I love him. I do, but he didn't support what I did. Like, he doesn't support anything that I do because he is an accountant. He doesn't understand any of this. He doesn't understand men looking. He doesn't understand, like, a lot of it he just couldn't deal with. And I completely stopped. Didn't do anything, stopped. In the beginning, I wasn't even doing anything in the beginning anyway. I lived in Philly with him. I was there whenever. I didn't do much. Like, I just wanted to be around him. And then, you know what happened. And I left, and I put my life into my work. Like, that is when I decided to do the digital producing with Angie Martinez. That's when the opportunities started to open up. That's when I started to produce with Ebro in the morning. That's when a lot of the things started to happen. Before that, I didn't do anything because I was afraid to make him feel like he wasn't a man and like he wasn't getting to this money. Like, and I didn't want him to feel like that. Although, like, he's not one of those people, I can tell. It's just in his mannerism. And he did what he did. And so, went through a few other relationships, never posted them because I don't want it. I don't want anything about a man on my Instagram. Like, as far as his face on my Instagram, it's not gonna happen.
Why? Why?
I don't want it. I don't want the hey sisses. I don't want the how long y'all been dating? Hey, how? I don't want none of that because I know there's gonna be some other women that's gonna say something to me and then it's gonna get to my head and I'm gonna break up with the nigga and then we won't be together. So I stay away from that. Although I do my fishing. I do scroll. I do find out where you've been. You know, like I do find that. But I don't post. I will never show any. Probably when I'm getting married is when the moment where I'm like, hey, finally.
Big reveal.
Right. It'll never happen. Never.
So.
Never.
Clearly there's a balance that you guys have to obtain if you. Clearly. A lot of sacrifices being made. Yeah. So we're going to do a portion of Q&A. I want you guys to think of some questions. If anybody has questions, we'll make an orderly line and we'll pass the mic around. Last question before I let everybody ask you guys questions. As far as digital spaces, it's ever changing, and I feel like as creators we get very attached to our work, When is it okay, or has there ever been a time where it's been okay for you guys to go, you know what, I love this, I'm a part of this, it's in my soul, I've created this, but I have to put it down and make something greater?
When you know in your heart you are not as passionate about it anymore, put it down. Sit it down until it comes back. Because it might come back, but at this moment in time, you know, I do this thing called Scottie feedback, right? Where I sit with a esteemed person in music where, you know, they give some advice to upcoming rappers. I hit this wall where it started to get big, but I just started to feel like shit was sounding the same, and it drove me crazy, legit. 3,000 entries, 5,000 entries I would go through at night and legit be like, wow, this shit sounds the same. I am losing, and I'm a big fan of hip hop. I legit had to put down hip hop.
Yeah.
I put it down. So if you came here to give me a mixtape, it's quiet. because I put that shit down.
Tuck them
I'm
away.
not picking it up until I'm passionate about it again. I'm not doing it. So, you know, I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass, because there's people that came to another event, they came and gave me a mixtape. I said, I have nothing for you, sir. I don't do this anymore. I don't. Y'all want one song and y'all want to be out. Y'all want one hit and y'all want to be out. I don't support it anymore. I'm good. I'll support the music that I like, JID, you know, the Earth Gangs, all of it. All of it. I support all of it. But as far as upcoming rappers, I'm confused at what your motive is anymore. I don't understand your motive. I don't understand the point anymore. I don't get it. I don't see the hunger anymore. I don't see, you know what I'm saying? It sounds trash. It's bad. I have no problem saying it's trash. But I'm tired of saying it's trash. Like, I'm just tired of it, so I won't do it anymore. So I put it down. I put down hip-hop as a whole, and that's my soul. Like, I love hip-hop to death. I do. If you notice on my playlisting, literally I've been doing R&B, soul, disco. Shit, I'll do country before I do anybody's hip hop. I don't want to do it. I don't believe in what's going on right now. I don't know what resurgence niggas think that is happening. I don't want to. It's trash. This shit is trash.
I think you should put something down where you're no longer happy. So similar, you know, piggybacking off of Scottie. You know, your passion should make you really happy. And the moment it doesn't, that's the time to leave it alone. I always tell people, like, when I shoot the show, we have so much fun. Like, I wish you guys could see it. It's such a great time. It brings me so much joy. But I don't care how big the show ever gets. If it no longer makes me happy, I will put it down.
Please, hold on now.
I might give it to you. I can give it to you.
Hold on now. Just at least give me an email. Let me know.
I'll let you know.
Okay,
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Also, I do believe that, you know, for me, and I think a lot of, you know, all of the women on the panel agree that, you know, when we get a lot of like emails and like tweets like, you guys should do this and you guys have to do this. And like, it feels like, hold up. Like, it feels like this a job. I never want what I do to feel like a job. So, you know, I always say, like, feels like a job, I'm not happy, pass it off with a nice check. Ooh. With a lot of zeros, but I'll pass it off.
I agree with both of these women. I just think, again, when you're not happy, when you're not passionate, you gotta just separate yourself from it. Like, when, you know, I was at certain outlets, I would dread coming into work every day. Like, literally, like, why do I have to come into work today? It's not because I have to be there at 9 a.m., even though I'm not a morning person. It's because I'm not passionate about what I'm doing anymore. There's no, like, spark. There's no butterflies. There's none of that I used to get. And I had to put it down. I had to separate myself from that organization and just move on and really start to focus and write about things that I cared about and that I'm passionate about. And that kind of sparked it. And it's like, literally, we're telling you guys this, and it's 100%. Like, you're not going to be able to create new, fresh ideas off of, you know, unhappiness and stress and everything. You're going to have that regardless, but it has to be a mix of it. You have to be passionate and love what you do and be able to deal with the bullshit at the same time. Not always deal with the bullshit and only be happy sometimes.
Give it up for these three amazing women right here. Woo. Get your gems today.